whatever. Otherwise, he's gone crazy. Sometimes we go too crazy for foodstuffs, mad after the tests, different tests. As stated before, the tongue, belly, and genitals all are situated in a straight line, and they fall in the same category. Lord Chaitanya said, "Bhalana khaivya, bhalana parivam." Do not eat, dress luxuriously, and do not eat delicious food. So, those who suffer from diseases of the stomach must be unable to control the urges of the belly, at least according to this analysis. I'll not ask for raising hands. You all are facing the diseases of the stomach, mainly because of this uncontrolled tongue. So urges of the belly also. When we desire to eat more than necessary, we automatically create many inconveniences in life. You can underline both these lines. Very important. You all must have seen also when you overeat. How many of you seen after overeating when you sit for proper book reading or something? It's like some 10-15 minutes, half an hour is like that only. How many of you seen? Yeah, we have seen already. Are they chanting japa and so much? And you see the watch, so much time is gone. 15 minutes, one round is not over because of overeating. However, if we observe fasting days like Ekadashi and Janmashtami, we can restrain the demands of the daily. Our acharyas had so many vrittis. Ajgara vritti, sitting like a python, and python takes only air, and if something comes, then he eats. When Prahlad Maharaj, he was on his tour, world tour, because he's the king of the whole world. So he's touring, so he found one such personality. They say many times it was Lord Dattatreya. He was just lying like that and depending on the Lord. It is called Ajgara Vritti. Ajgar just takes air and all that, and if some other food is there like that. And another is called as Ayachita Vritti. Not even begging, though you are a bhikshu, like Madhavendra Puri is for Ayachita Vritti. He would not beg alms. If somebody came and gave some prasad, he would accept. Otherwise, only fast and feast on Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. That's how when he came to Vrindavan and Govardhan, he did Govardhan Parikrama, then he came to Govind Kund. And he sat there, he was chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Hare. From kind of afternoon, evening came, and long time passed. He was not begging even. Generally, bhikshuks, they go to houses and beg something. Maybe chickpea something they may get. But here, no question. So then one small boy came. He said, Baba, this is milk for you. You are hungry, please take this. Then immediately Madhavendra said, but how do you know, my dear child, that I am hungry, not eaten anything? He said, those women you see there at the well, they have been drawing water there for a long time and they have been watching you. They told me that you have not eaten anything from morning. So I understand you don't beg like that. Unless somebody provides, you don't accept. So this is my village. Nobody goes hungry in my village. So I came, this is milk, please take this. And I will come afterwards. I have to go for grazing the cows. I will come back in the evening and take back my pot. So that boy was Krishna himself. Gopal came to take care. So this is Ayachita Vritti, not even begging. So we should learn from these vrittis. And there is Madhukuri Vritti also. Madhukuri. Madhu is like a honeybee. Madhu. It goes for honey from different flowers. It collects. So that is how Madhukari. That means going door to door. It goes flower to flower. Either we go door to door. Supposed to be 5 people, 5 Rajasthan, and beg alms, and whatever we get, that's all. So here, at least in our setup, already whatever donation comes and with that cooking is done, offered to the Lord. Whatever comes in our plate, we should just take it, not run here and there for the satisfaction of our tongue, and take in appropriate quantity also. Not go crazy like anything. Have some control on body, mind and senses. As far as the urges of the genitals are concerned, there are 2, proper and improper. If you see, the whole discussion is over, again the discussion is going on according to Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur's commentary. Proper is giving. Proper and improper are legal and illicit sex. When a man is properly mature, he can marry according to the rules and regulations of the Shastras and use his genitals for begetting nice children. That is legal and religious. Otherwise, he may adopt many artificial means to satisfy the demands of the genitals and he may not use any restraint. When one indulges in illicit sex life, as defined by the Shastras, either by thinking, planning, talking about, or actually having sexual intercourse, or by satisfying the genitals by artificial means, is caught in the clutches of Maya. Artificial means by which is what you call, masturbation. Yeah, so this is not. But otherwise, also there are 8 types of things. If one does, then it is called as illicit sex. And that Prabhupada quotes in Srimad Bhagavatam, 6th canto, 1st chapter, 12th verse. Sridhar Swami has given 8 aspects of Brahmacharya. Smaranam Kirtanam Kelihi Prekshanam Guhya Bhashanam Sankalpo Adhyavasayascha Kriya Nivrittir Evacha. So Smaranam, thinking of a woman, or for a woman thinking of a man. Smaranam, Kirtanam, speaking about it. Keli means dallying with women. Prekshanam, watching them. Then watching with lustful desire. Guhya Bhashanam, speaking confidentially. That means you and that woman, nobody else. So Sankalpo decides to go for sexual activity. Adhyavasayasya, endeavor for sex life. Kriya, actually doing it. Nivrittir evacha, giving up all these 8 things is called as brahmacharya. So that's what Prabhupada has quoted in short. When one indulges in illicit sex life, as defined by the Shastras, either by thinking, planning, talking about, or actually having sexual intercourse, or by satisfying the genitals by artificial means, he is caught in the clutches of Maya. So one should not do that. Otherwise, one will not be able to have this upastha vegam control. These instructions apply not only to householders but also to Tyagis or those who are in the renounced order of life. In his book Prema Vivarta, Sri Dr. Pandit says, Vairagi bhai gramya ka thana shoni bekane gramya vadana kahi be yabe mili be ane swapane o na karas bhai stri sambhashan grahe stri chadiya bhai asiya chavan yadi chaha pranaya rakite gaurange rasane छोटा हरिदासर कथा थाके ये न मने बालना खाइबे यार बालना परिवे हृदय ते राधा कृष्ण सर्वदा सेवे. So these are the words Prema Vivarta book Jagdanand Pandit has written. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's childhood friend Gadadhar Pandit, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Jagdanand were together. So he's saying Vairagi Bhai Gramya Katha na Shunibe. This is for Vairagis, Brahmacharis, Vanaprastha Sannyasis. Don't hear village talks. न सुनिबे कहानी ग्राम्य वार्ता न कहिबे यबे मिलिबे आने and don't speak also. स्वप्ने वो ना कर भाई स्त्री संभाषण. Even in the dream don't talk to women. Even in the dream. गृहे स्त्री छाड़िया भाई आसिया चवन. Because what? You have accepted the renounced order of life with a vow that forbids you to associate with women. So these 3 categories, brahmacharis, vanaprastha, sannyasis, they have no question of having such intimate dealings with women. Yati chaha pranaya rakite gaurangena sane. If you want to have love for Gaurang Mahaprabhu, Chota Haridasar katha thaki yena mani. Keep the pastime of Chota Haridas in your mind. Chota Haridas was a sannyasi and associate of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Once Bhagwan Acharya invited Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to take prasad in his house, and he told Chota Haridas, please go to Madhvi Devi and bake some white rice that I want to cook for the Lord. So Chota Haridas went. He is a bhikshu, he can go also. And anyway, this is for Bhagwan Acharya. So he went. So when he went, this Madhvi Devi was old lady. But there at the doorstep, one young girl was sitting. And he looked once lustfully at that girl. Then he asked white rice from Madhvi Devi. She gave very happily. Bhagwan Acharya asked. He brought it, gave it to Bhagwan Acharya cooked it. Then he called Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sitting and he is serving. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, oh, this white rice is very nice. Where did you get it from? He said, from Madhvi Devi. Who brought it? Who got from there? Chota Haridas. Mahaprabhu Sarvagya, he knows everything. So he took prasad, he washed his hands, he came back. He told Govinda, henceforth, Chota Haridas is not allowed to come here. I don't want him to meet me. All the devotees shocked. So what happened? Nobody knows what is happening. What has happened? Nobody knows. So then some devotees came and said, Mahaprabhu, what is the problem? Why you are forbidding Chota Haridas to come close to you? He said, no, because he has whatever. Mahaprabhu is not telling clearly. He is forbidden. So then Chota Haridas is told, Chota Haridas is completely broken hearted. He cannot go closer to Mahaprabhu now. So when Mahaprabhu is entering through Simhadwaram, Jagannath temple, from long distance, hiding behind a pillar, he looks at Mahaprabhu because he's not allowed in the close vicinity of Mahaprabhu. And like that, time is passing. He's fasting now. He decides, I will give up my body if I don't get Mahaprabhu's mercy. So then devotees again go to Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu, please forgive Chota Haridas. His offense is not big. So Mahaprabhu says no. Those who are vairagi, this is for sannyasis particularly. Because he was a sannyasi. That Kala Krishnadas was a brahmachari whom Mahaprabhu took in South India tour. And also he was associate of Nityanprabhu. When Mahaprabhu rejected him after South India tour, Nityanprabhu was compassionate to his associate. And then he asked Mahaprabhu, Mahaprabhu, you have come from South India after 2 years. No devotees in Bengal, Odisha know about your arrival. Could we send someone with Jagannath Prasad to inform them of your arrival? Mahaprabhu said, yes, do as you wish. So then Kala Krishna Das, particularly Nityanprabhu said, with Jagannath Prasad. Then he went to Navadvip, he gave Prasad, Jagannath Prasad to Sachi Mata, told Mahaprabhu has come, she was very happy. Then he went to Advaitacharya, gave Mahaprasad, he was very happy. Srivas Thakur, he was very happy. Then all the devotees know now Mahaprabhu is in Puri back. So let us go and meet him. So they all are gathering. So anyway, so this way, this Kala Krishna Das offense was nullified. He got attracted to Bhattasari women when they were there somewhere in South India. But there you can see he was in the midst of women. Whereas here, Chota Haridas was not with that girl. He only looked once lustfully. That's all. And he was minding his own business, but then somehow Mahaprabhu was very strict. Because he was a sannyasi. For a sannyasi, this is very strict. He cannot. Sannyasi getting into material desires again, trying to satisfy his sexual desires. That is considered vantasi. That means he has vomited something and then he is licking that vomit. That is considered very horrible. So that is how sannyasis should not get attracted to material life. So Mahaprabhu is not allowing him only. He is fasting. Mahaprabhu is told. Mahaprabhu says nothing to him. Paramanand Puri requests that please, Mahaprabhu becomes so angry. He says, okay, then you stay here. I am going to Alarnath. Paramanand says, oh Lord, you are independent. I don't understand your pastime. You please stay here. I won't ask you henceforth. So matter is there only resolved. So after 1 year passed, 1 full year passed, then Mahaprabhu one day said, so where is Chota Haridas now? You may call him to meet me. So the devotees saw that Chota Haridas is not there only, missing. So after some time when Srivas and other devotees came from Navadvip to Puri to meet Mahaprabhu before Rath Yatra. So that time Srivas informs that one devotee from Navadvip had been to Prayagraj, and there that devotee came to know that Chota Haridas one night got up silently without informing anyone. He went to Prayagraj and he jumped in the Triveni Sangam and finished his body. Because to take, to nullify his offense that he committed by looking lustfully at women. So then Mahaprabhu was informed by Srivas in Puri that this is what happened. This Chota Haridas has committed suicide in Triveni Sangam. So Mahaprabhu gave a little smile. And you were wondering why not? He has committed suicide, Mahaprabhu is smiling. So Mahaprabhu said that is the proper action for one who has committed such offense. Like that. So very heavy. So he is saying that only. So Prabhupada once was in morning walk and one of the sannyasis asked, Prabhupada, what if a sannyasi gets some material desire? Sex life or something like that. Prabhupada said he should commit suicide because this pastime is the background. So Prabhupada said he should commit suicide. So that sannyasi was also quite sincere. So he took it very seriously. He took about turn. He left morning walk and he went and he in Ganges or somewhere he jumped. He was expert swimmer but he did not try to swim and escape. He drowned himself. He left his body. But what happened? Prabhupada did not know that. Prabhupada walked a little ahead and then he stopped. He said that is the thing Mahaprabhu says. But I cannot say so. Mahaprabhu is Supreme Lord Krishna. He can deliver all people in the world alone. But I need all of you. So in case you feel some kind of agitation, you can better get married in a humble way and continue Krishna consciousness. Means don't commit suicide. But the sannyasi was not there only. He had already gone. So he jumped. So we can see that this is little serious offense. Chota Haridasir Katha Thaki Yadamani. Bhalana Khaive or Bhalana Parive, don't eat opulently and dress that way. Hridayate Radha Krishna Sarvada Seve, and your heart always serve Radha Krishna. In Chaitanya Charitamrita also Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Amani Manad Hayya Krishna Nama Sadalave Vraje Radha Krishna Seva Manase Korike. Bhaktivinoda Thakur quotes in Amrut Pravaha Bhashya purport. And Amani, don't expect any respect, Manad, give always respect to others. Krishna Nama Sadalave, always chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Vraje Radha Krishna Seva Manase Karive. In your mind, be in Vrindavan and render service to Radha and Krishna. Our mind should be situated in Sri Vrindavan Dham. Body, sometimes we go with seniors, Guru Maharaj, particularly pure devotees, because they can reveal Dham. Otherwise, Vrindavan is covered with a thin veneer and we cannot see. We can be on the Dham, we cannot enter in Dham without hearing from pure devotee. So we should be wherever we are entering services, but our mind should be in Vrindavan. But for that, mind should be very pure. Vishaya chadiya kabe Shuddha have mana kabe ham heribo Shri Vrindavana. When we give up all varieties of sense objects, then mind becomes purified. Kabe ham heribo, and then I can see Shri Vrindavan Dham 24/7. So one should reside in Vrindavan and worship Radha Krishna always. The conclusion is that one who can control these 6 items, speech, mind, anger, tongue, belly and genitals, is to be called a Swami or Goswami. Swami means master and Goswami means master of the go or senses. When one accepts the renounced order of life, he automatically assumes the title of Swami. This does not mean that he is the master of his family, community or society. He must be master of his senses. Why Prabhupada is saying that? Because in Vrindavan there are Goswamis like that. Sometimes just because they are leaders of some family or community, they are given the title Goswami. But that is not a Goswami in the real sense of the term. A real Goswami means one who has controlled his mind and senses. Unless one is master of his senses, he should not be called Goswami, but Godas, servant of the senses. Following in the footsteps of the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, all Swamis and Goswamis should fully engage in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. As opposed to this, the Godasas engaged in the service of the senses or in the service of the material world. They have no other engagement. Prahlad Maharaj has further described the Godas as Adantago, which refers to one whose senses are not controlled. An Adantago cannot become a servant of Krishna. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Prahlad Maharaj said, Matirna Krishne parato satova ito vibhante graha vratana Adantago bhir vishakantam mishram For those who have decided to continue their existence in this material world for the gratification of their senses, there is no chance of becoming Krishna conscious, not by personal endeavor, by instruction from others, or by joint conferences. They are dragged by the unbridled senses into the darkest region of ignorance, and thus they madly engage in what is called chewing the chewed. Yes, any question? On all 6 now, yes.
Prabhupada writes that if we offer palatable dishes to the deity with the intention of eating such dishes, so what is the standard for in this case as a household?
The husband and wife, if there are 2, or if there are whatever, more, let's say mother, father, 4, elderly people, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever, or those who are concerned about the whole thing, they should come together and decide the menu. Monday will be this menu, Tuesday will be that menu, and some alternatives can also be there. Let's say this sabji is not there, then that sabji, or at least item wise, chapatis on this day, upma on this day, something like that. They can make a menu, and that's what they go on with. So that is the standard thing. Some little flexibility has to be there, because you may decide some item, but in the market that is not available. So some alternative there. But otherwise, more or less, that is the thing.
Randomly, we cannot say that today we can make this.
Prabhu can say, in a sense. Preferably that should be avoided unless there is need. Let's say some sannyasis are coming to house, something like that. Some other devotees are coming. Then he may change the menu for their sake, for others' sake, or some guests also may come because they are householders. Some relatives are coming, so they may change the menu. That is okay. But in that sense, others are also there in center, not himself. That is for sure. But one more thing is, ideally, we should not change like that according to our needs. Lord's menu. His standard that should be going on. That's why we have deity kitchen and we have devotee kitchen, two separate. In some ISKCON temples which are not big, both are same. Like I remember in Kunjavari temple 96, 97, even when I was a Brahman initiated also, that time also I used to go to devotee kitchen, rice, dal, sabji I would take from there, chapati also I think, and only sweet I think we would make separately. So then packing that and then offering to the Radha Kunjavari. So otherwise, when the temples become big, then we separate the two. Let not Lord's bhoga get affected due to our reasons. You understand? Not that he has to eat millet khichdi because brahmacharis are eating millet khichdi. Why should Lord eat millet khichdi? He can eat apple and basmati rice. Not early morning, but Rajbhog at least. So like that, Lord's things should be undisturbed. But because householders, small family and all, so something can be already fixed and that way it can go on. Basically, the householder, Prabhu, Mata or whosoever they are, they should not decide the menu as per their tongue's demands. Is that okay? They don't have the right. They may do it. Who can control them? Who can watch over them? But it is not a good standard. No? Then their senses will be uncontrolled. Already uncontrolled senses, they will become furthermore uncontrolled. So that precaution should be taken. Yes. Any other question? Yes.
Just like you see that in the earlier ages, the standard for brahmacharis.
Just like we see what?
In the earlier ages, the standard for brahmachari and sannyasi was very high. Even talking to them was restricted. But nowadays, for preaching, these brahmacharis and sannyasi, they have to talk with the women also. But still, what is the standard now? One should follow being a brahmachari or sannyasi.
Yeah, ideally brahmachari should be deep in the forest, 50 kilometers around, not even smell of women. That is the ideal standard, like Rushesh Rimgawar, the highest standard. But Prabhupada said, no, we are in the preaching mission, so we will be in the heart of the city. We are in the heart of the city. Any ISKCON temple to come, we will look for the heart of the city. Even if more money, no problem, we will have it. And the brahmachari will stay there. So he has to be nicely undergoing morning program, chanting particularly, gives the strength, reading Prabhupada books, and associating with other brahmacharis, chanting, dancing, singing. These are the things. And while dealing with the women, some of the things what I have learned from Radhesham Prabhu is 3 persons. Either 2 Matajis and a brahmachari, or brahmachari, the Mataji and 1 Prabhu maybe. Either 2 Prabhus, one of them is brahmachari and Mataji. So Mataji wants to talk to Prabhu, this is brahmachari. So he should have 3 people, he should ensure. 2 are anyway there, the Mataji and brahmachari. So 1 more Mataji and 1 more Prabhu. Especially when it is private. In public, if it is there, then also best is to have 1 more Prabhu or Mata. So that, because nowadays is the age of media and people will just click photos or whatever, send it all across. This is what happening, that is what is happening. It can go to any extent. So better precaution that can be done. And best is the regular guidance to Matajis, brahmachari doesn't give. Whenever he goes, let's say brahmachari is sent to new city, place, town, he preaches. And all Prabhujis, Matajis, everybody come. And then they are told to chant 1 round. Now weekly program has started. As it evolves, and then time will come. Earlier the Matajis are like, outsiders. Now they will become insiders. They are understanding this is good and this is what is life. They accept Prabhupada's shelter. And they are becoming more and more closer to ISKCON. So that time there is need for some grahastha counselors. If possible a couple, husband, wife, if not at least 1 husband. Maybe Mataji, elderly Mataji, could guide these Matajis. So that the brahmacharis don't regularly guide Matajis. Once in a while talking for some other reason like a festival, that is okay. But regular guidance, no question. You understand? Because regular guidance it will be very difficult. And especially emotional sharing. The Mataji will say, Prabhu, my husband doesn't help me in japa. And then this Prabhu says, oh, really? What a cruel husband. And he will get carried away. He will forget. In the chanting, he will be killing the husband only. Krishna, Krishna. ऐसे प्रभु है, ऐसे कभी प्रभु होते हैं क्या? तो it's very dangerous. Intimacy is not good. So he should take care of those aspects particularly. Regular guidance is not good. So many brahmacharis got married because of regularly guiding girls. So he got married. Or going home too often and all. If all brahmacharis are going for Brahman Bhojan, that is different. But otherwise he is going alone, that is not good. Like that, so many things. Yes, any other? Should we proceed to next? Yes.
Here, like Rama is saying Madhyama Krishna Padastha. In that Prabhupada writes translation, for those who decided to continue their existence in this material world for sense gratification of their senses, there is no chance of becoming Krishna conscious. Not by personal endeavor, by so.
What is the question?
The question is basically like, we also come under the same category because we also still carried away by Maya sometimes.
No, we don't come in that category because those who have decided to continue their existence in the material world. If we wanted to do that, we would have continued in hostel only. Why did we come here, giving up hostel? Those who want to continue in the material existence, they are in the hostel. They are not ready to give up hostel and so many facilities, material facilities available there. We gave up all those facilities, comforts, and we came in this austere place, in the ashram of devotees, so many things. So we are not falling in that category. But while come here, we may get into some kind of tendencies like that. That we are gratifying our senses in this forum, in this situation. That is likely. But because devotees are around, seniors are also there, they will ensure that we don't get too much carried away. They are ready to control us. It's like we all have our uncontrolled mind is like elephant, but our seniors are like with gourd, like ankush. Elephant is controlled, so like that will be controlled.
Guruji, in this it is written that one has decided to continue in material existence, but then it is written that one by not even by personal endeavor. So if one has decided to continue in material existence, why he will do personal endeavor?
No, because of hearing from sadhus, sometimes he may be elevated. Yeah, yes, I should chant Hare Krishna, but then he will have difficulties because he is in that setting wherein materialistic people are there. They will pull him down and all that. So he may be endeavoring, just like we can see sometimes grahasthas and all they say. Even brahmacharis boys also say, Prabhu, I want to chant Hare Krishna, but in hostel, so many boys oppose. Grahasthas say, our relatives are saying what nonsense, this and that. So he is trying to endeavor, but because he is in that setting, it's very difficult. He has to become stronger. He has to hear more from sadhus, associate more in the daytime. So slowly his strength will increase. Then at home also he can chant Hare Krishna. Then he can wage war against all relatives also. This is it. I stand as a ISKCON devotee. आपको जो करना है करो. We will break our relationship with you. Okay. Like one Prabhu, he got married to a devotee girl, and he was Bombay University topper in MBA, and he was doing stock exchange. He was a big thing. But then afterwards, I think stock exchange is that gambling kind of. So he gave it up and switched over to some simple job. Parents became very angry. What nonsense, all this. So you are not our son if you do like this. You will not inherit anything from our property. He said, no problem. So then husband and wife, both were devotees. They shifted to one small flat somewhere in Bombay. And they were leading their honest life with another job paying less. Then afterwards the father got something, heart attack or something. Big problem. No relative were coming. But this Prabhu, when he came to know, he and Mataji, husband and wife, both went, took care nicely, prasadam, everything they took care. Then the father came to his senses. Oh, I understood now in the crisis. Actually, none of my relatives helped, but you too, though I kicked you out, but you were very kind. So I understand now that devotees are great, devotional service is amazing. So one should be ready to stand like that. So he came out of that whole thing also. So that is what it means.
So gradually that decision can be changed by personal endeavor.
Yeah, as he hears, hearing creates revolution. It will create revolution in his heart, his determination will increase. then he will be able to say no to materialistic people. Then his endeavor becomes very strong endeavor. But otherwise, it's not so easy. Any other? Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, like you have told previously that we should avoid tamarind and tomato, this type of thing.
Prabhupada is saying, I'm only repeating.
Yeah, so should we avoid soya bean also in
Soya bean, your comment, I don't know personally so much. I have not heard. Have you heard?
I heard from Bhakti Charu Maharaj. He says that we brahmacharis and boys should not eat it. And if somebody has protein weakness, Jagadaga Maharaj has told they can.
Okay. Understood. Yes.
So, like one question, like in this vegan, there is actually nowadays, because the modern age, mobile has become an internal part of the body only. So, so when we tell the new boys, they are ready to give up bhakti, they may give up chanting also, but if we tell them to control mobile, so can you give some guidelines for us and especially from child and the boys and
Because of so much addiction, first we have to give him devotional test, which we cannot give him while he is in the hostel. So we can.
the devotees.
Acha,
They are
devotees.
already staying inside boys.
So the lectures and all should guide them. Our personal behavior, and in the lecture again and again bringing that point, we should indicate to that it is not good. It's a colossal waste of time, money, energy, etc. And some devotees can be personally also counseled if we know that they are wasting too much time on mobile. They can be told, why are you getting addicted to mobile and becoming servant of your mobile? Machine should be used, not that you get accustomed and addicted to machines. Like that, personal counseling can be given. And ultimately, then what could be done? Then it is left to them. Like you can take a horse to pond, but you cannot make it drink water. Even if you insert the mouth of the horse in the water, he is not opening the mouth. How can you do that? So everybody has to fly his own plane, Prabhupada said. But from our side, as their well-wishers, we tell what is beneficial for you. Ultimately, they have to take the call, isn't it? Yes. Should we go to next? Yes, so you do. No more question. Second to fourth, these three, second, third and fourth, they talk about external behavior of a Madhyam Adhikari. Hare Krishna. Okay.
So like when the prasadam comes from Vrindavan or Puri, so actually generally we have seen that like it has come from Viras Sonpur. So what is the
Giraj Maharaj ki. This is a big problem nowadays. That's why I inquire a lot. But they say नहीं वो शुद्ध घी में बना होता है and offered to Krishna. वो जो लाया है उसको ही पूछना है कि प्रभु is it offered or not. So at least we can tell devotees in case somebody goes to Vrindavan and happens to purchase from that Govardhan, that Giraj shop. So at least ask them that is it offered or we need to offer. It's not practical problems. Okay, second to fourth are about external behavior of a Madhyam Adhikari and his devotional practices. So in the first itself we can see you are made a Madhyam Adhikari. If you control the 6 urges, you are already a Madhyam Adhikari. You are able to control the urge to speak, you have control your speaking thing, and you have control over your mind, you have control over your jiva, this krodh, anger, then tongue, belly and genitals. So you are Madhyam Adhikari then. So now, what are his external behavior also? This is bit internal also in one sense, earlier one, now external. And this verse is also for memorization, for those who are the official students of this course of Bhakti Shastri. This verse is talking about Nishedha, the things which are forbidden. Earlier was Vidhi, we have to control this, we have to control that. This is to be avoided. Please repeat. Atyaharaha prayasascha prajalpo niyamagraha जनसङ्गश्च लौल्यंश्च सर्वैर्भक्तिर्विनश्यति. So he's saying your Krishna consciousness will be destroyed. Vinashyasi. Vinakshati. It will be lost. No hope. So we should be very careful about these things. There are 6 things. Atyahara. One's devotional service is spoiled when he becomes too entangled in the following 6 activities. First, eating more than necessary or collecting more funds than required. Second, over-endeavoring for mundane things that are very difficult to obtain. Third, talking unnecessarily about mundane subject matters. Fourth, practicing the scriptural rules and regulations only for the sake of following them and not for the sake of spiritual advancement. Or rejecting the rules and regulations of the scriptures and working independently or whimsically. Fifth, associating with worldly minded persons who are not interested in Krishna consciousness. And sixth, being greedy for mundane achievements. So, too much of is not required. Ahar is allowed, but atyahar not. So, we will discuss. So, Prabhupada, how he brings this, if you see, he begins with on philosophical note, because these are all practical tips. Vacho vegam, manasa krodha vegam, to be applied. So, Prabhupada uses some philosophy. Like earlier in the first verse, what philosophy did he use?
Atonement is.
Shukdev Goswami prescribed atonement. But then Parikshit Maharaj does not accept, saying that no, sinful tendency is there. Then Prabhupada says, then the regulative method of life, and the tapasya. And in the tapasya, that tapasa, brahmacharya, etc. But this is long cut. Shortcut is taking shelter of a spiritual master. And for that, becoming guru himself or taking shelter, vacho vegam, manasa krodha. He discusses all that. So now here how he introduces. Human life is meant for plain living and high thinking. Since all conditioned living beings are under the control of the Lord's third energy, this material world is designed so that one is obliged to work. The Supreme Personality of Godhead has 3 primary energies. You know that Antaranga Shakti, Bahiranga Shakti and Tatastha Shakti. The living entities constitute the marginal potency and they are situated between the internal and external potencies. Being subordinate as eternal servants of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Jivatmas or atomic living entities must remain under the control of either the internal or external potency. When they are under the control of the internal potency, they display their natural constitutional activity, namely constant engagement in the devotional service of the Lord. If you wish, you may underline this. That means when we are under internal potency, Radharani's blessing, then we are engaged in spiritual activity. We should not think, I am only great soul, I am only engaged. That is okay, your desire also, but Radharani's blessings are there. By the blessings of internal potency, then we are situated in our natural constitutional position. Mahatmanastu Mam Partha Daivim Prakriti Ashritah Bhajante Ananyamanaso Gyatva Bhutatim Abhyayam. That those who are broad-minded, they are always sheltered by internal potency, and with undivided attention they worship the Lord, knowing the Lord to be original and inexhaustible. The word Mahatma refers to those who are broad-minded, not cripple-minded. Cripple-minded persons always engaged in satisfying their senses, sometimes expand their activities in order to do good for others through some ism like nationalism, humanitarianism, or altruism. They may reject personal sense gratification or for the sense gratification of others, like the members of their family, community, or society, either national or international. Actually, all this is extended sense gratification. So, how many types of sense gratification? 2: concentrated and extended. Concentrated means oneself only. How I enjoy everything. But extended means my family, how could they enjoy? My society people, nation people, caste people, nations people, internationally, all this kind of consideration, all isms. Actually, all this is extended sense gratification from personal to communal to social. This may all be very good from the material point of view, but such activities have no spiritual value. The basis of such activity is sense gratification, either personal or extended. Only when a person gratifies the senses of the Supreme Lord, you can underline this, can he be called a Mahatma or broad-minded person. So, as His Holiness Radha Swami Maharaj said, Krishna consciousness means to take oneself out of center and to put Krishna there. This is the thing. Anyway, just like we can see this hall, whatever the hall, maybe around 25 feet by 15 feet approximate. Huge hall with the height of also maybe 12 feet around. Huge hall, but what is the central thing in this whole house, in this room? This altar, huge, beautiful, occupying quite maybe the biggest area of this. That is also there. I don't know what is it, cabin or anything, but not so beautiful there. But this is the most beautiful, huge, and you can see also a lot of money is spent on this. And inside also huge, beautiful lamination, nice decoration of garlands, gormita, and all I know. So this is the center of the whole hall. Anybody entering in this hall, if the altar is open, cannot stop but look at this. Even if altar is closed with those brown color thing, he will immediately ask, what is that huge thing? Something covered there. Is it Almira or what? So you don't know that's our altar and all that. And what to speak when the altar is open, clearly he will understand. This is the central thing. So likewise, center should be Krishna always in our life. All activities, whether personal, family, community, national level, whatever the level. We should have Krishna in center. So ISKCON, you can see how clearly Krishna is in center, isn't it? Temple, the deities are in center. We can clearly see. Just imagine we have huge, like we have NVCC, Pune, huge campus, 6.5 acre and 60-70 crore rupees worth property. Temple is huge, people may enter, and altar is very beautiful. And imagine there are no deities there. Then there is no value on this. That temple has no value. Then even if everything else is same, but there are no deities at all. Altar is same, decoration is same. No. So Krishna is in the center. So we have to keep Krishna in the center, in our heart, in our family, in our society, in our community, wherever it is. That is a Mahatma. In the above quoted verse from Bhagavad Gita, the words Daivim Prakriti refer to the control of the internal potency or pleasure potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This pleasure potency is manifested as Srimati Radharani or expansion Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune. When the individual jiva's souls are under the control of the internal energy, their only engagement is the satisfaction of Krishna or Vishnu. This is the position of a Mahatma. So this is very clear. Many times we may think I am Mahatma, great soul. But are you keeping Krishna in the center of all your activities? Are all your physical, mental and verbal activities centered around Krishna as a service to Krishna? And is your heart always meditating upon how to please Krishna? If yes, then you are a Mahatma. And for that matter, you should not certify yourself as Mahatma. Some others, many others should certify. But this is the standard for being Mahatma. If one is not a Mahatma, he is a Duratma or a cripple-minded person. Such mentally crippled Duratmas are put under the control of the Lord's external potency, Mahamaya. Indeed, all living entities, so you saw, internal potency was discussed, Mahatma was discussed, now some Duratma also. Indeed, all living entities within this material world are under the control of Mahamaya, whose business is to subject them to the influence of the threefold miseries, Adivaitik, Adhyatmik and Adidevik Klesh, Adhyatmik, Adivaitik, Adidevik Klesh. Daiva Bhutatma Hetavaha, the conditioned souls subjected to these three miseries by the control of the external energy suffer various misery difficulties. The main problem, so he is coming to the point, confronting the conditioned souls is the repetition of birth, old age, disease and death. In the material world, one has to work for the maintenance of the body and soul. But how one can perform such work in a way that is favorable for the execution of Krishna consciousness? Everyone requires possessions such as food grains, clothing, money, and other things necessary for the maintenance of the body. But one should not collect more than necessary for his actual basic needs. If this natural principle is followed, there will be no difficulty in maintaining the body. So your getting is connecting there. Atyahar. Atyahar is not just getting more than necessary, but also collecting more things than required. More funds also. So that's why ISKCON standard of funds is, fundraising is, whatever comes we spend it. Whatever comes. First we see how much is our requirement in a year, any temple, any place. And then we send all our devotees everywhere. Generally we do once in a year. Fund collection. Generally, on a broad scale, we do once in a year. But if something falls short intermittently, then we may do something also. But otherwise, large scale collection we do, and then that is whatever the level, whatever you need, 5 lakhs per year or 10 lakhs, 1 2 crores. that we collect, and then we spend it, everything. And more focus is on welfare activities or preaching, a lot of preaching. Apart from our basic maintenance of the ashramites, those who are staying in ashram, apart from that, all preaching. DTs are another thing. That is also preaching only in one sense, because people come, get attracted, preaching around, and then all money is spent. Not that something is there, and then it can lead to a lot of problems also. So that's how it should be arranged. So Atyahar, if we eat too much, or collect more funds than required, then we can get into this eating, sleeping, betting, defending business. In Hitopanishad, this is said. If you do too much of eating or too much of collecting, then it will lead to eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. This is in Hitopanishad mentioned. Also, we can see how Sanatana Goswami, when I think yesterday we told you, or was it in Varanasi? Sanatana Goswami, when he escaped from Nawabhusan Shah's kingdom, jail, he was coming to meet Mahaprabhu in Vrindavan, but on the way he met in Varanasi. So on the way, when he was passing through forest, unseen by the soldiers of Nawab, one point of time from a distance, somebody was watching, who is that person? Then he came close and then he observed, and then he understood, oh, he is my brother-in-law. It was Srikant Sen, one of the, Srikant, who was the brother-in-law of Sanatana Goswami. And he said, oh, what happened to you? Why are you like this, in poverty-stricken condition? Then he said, I escaped from the jail, going to meet Mahaprabhu. He said, oh, you have come to my kingdom, please come to my house, palace, and will nourish you nicely. He said, no, I'm just focused on going to meet Mahaprabhu. So please don't take that. Then he said, okay, at least take this blanket as a gift. So he gave very costly, because he was king, he gave very costly blanket, and Sanatana Goswami accepted out of love, kept it on his shoulder. Then he ran, met Mahaprabhu in Chandrasekhar Vaidya's house in Varanasi. Then now Sanatana Goswami was given bath, shaved, somewhat new clothes. New clothes means he took from Tapan Mishra old dhoti only. He tore it in two parts, and like that he was maintaining. But that this on shoulder, this blanket was there always on Sanatana Goswami. So every time Mahaprabhu and Sanatana Goswami would interact, Mahaprabhu would look at his face, but he would look at the blanket, which Sanatana Goswami could understand. Then he understood, Samajhdar ko ishara kafi. So he understood that this is not to the liking of Mahaprabhu. So then he went to the Ganges Ghat in Varanasi. There was one man cleaning his old torn quilt. Then Sanatana Goswami asked him that, my dear man, would you like to exchange your torn quilt with my blanket? Then he looked at the blanket. From looking at it, he could easily understand it's very costly new blanket. Then that man said, oh, you are making fun of this poor fellow. Who will exchange his costly blanket like that with my torn quilt? Then Sanatana Goswami said, no, my dear man, I am not joking. I really mean it. Please accept this exchange offer. He was ecstatic. Immediately he gave his torn quilt and he took Sanatana Goswami's new blanket. Then Sanatana Goswami kept that torn quilt, came to meet Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu, when he saw that blanket is gone, this torn quilt is there. Mahaprabhu was so happy, he embraced and said, Sanatan, Krishna has taken away the last bit of attachment from your life. How much Mahaprabhu is, how Mahaprabhu is. Mahaprabhu Bhaktagan, Vairagya Pradhan, Iha Dekhi Prita Hayya, Gaura Bhagavan. That Mahaprabhu's associates are famous for being great renunciates. They are not attached to worldly things. They don't over endeavor for worldly things or possess many things. I can imagine Sanatana Mahaprabhu's all associates for 4 months, they were all grahasthas, most of them, leaving Navadvip and going all the way to Puri, staying for 4 months of Chaturmas. How could they maintain themselves? Isn't it difficult? How many of you can think of living wise for 4 months? Somewhere you have to go. हमने प्रभु बताओ कहाँ जाना है, किस लिए जाना है, इतना लंबा क्यों भाई? 4 months. We can cut it short to 10 days, 15 days. Isn't it? It's very difficult. Or even you all, not to speak of grahasthas who have so many family and other responsibilities. But they would just keep it all on Krishna, depend on Krishna, and they would go there. So this Sanatana Goswami, Mahaprabhu says that how would it look like, you go to beg from others, somebody's house you go and say, no mother, please give some bhiksha. Means I'm a poor bhikshu, कुछ है नहीं मेरे पास. The Mataji will see, look at the blanket, and my God, Hare Prabhu, you have costly the blanket and all our blankets put together. You are begging alms. मुझे लग रहा है मुझे आपसे भिक्षा मांगना चाहिए. It will look quite odd, different only. So that is not good. So Mahaprabhu becomes very happy when his devotees give up attachment to worldly things. Mahaprabhu Bhaktagan Vairagya Pradhan, Jaha Dekhi Prita Haya. Wherever Mahaprabhu sees Vairagya or renunciation in his associates, he becomes very pleased. Prita Haya, Gaura Bhagwan. Whenever Mahaprabhu would set on any journey, after traveling few kilometers, whatever, 10, 15, then he would stop, he would look back and he would ask, has anyone brought any money? They would look at each other. No. Mahaprabhu, no, we did not bring any money. Because you only tell, na, when we are always dependent on Krishna. We should depend on Krishna's arrangement. So we did not bring any money. Mahaprabhu says, okay, that is very good. Then you can continue coming with me. If anybody has brought money, please take about and go back. You cannot travel. What a big test, huh? He will allow you to travel for a few kilometers and then he will check. So one should not depend on one's own abilities. One should depend on Krishna. Krishnarthe Akhila Cheshta. All endeavors for Krishna. One should not think, what about my maintenance? Krishna will take care. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that in his song, Amitava Nityadasa Janinu Ebara Amara Palana Bhara Ekhono Tomara. I have understood now that I am your eternal servant, and Amara Palan Bhara, my maintenance is now your responsibility. I don't care. Just like a child doesn't care for his maintenance. All of us as children were playing. Not bothered about studying or future job, anything. Parents are there. For food, mother is there. For clothes, father is there. For house, both of them are there. Why do I worry about myself? So why I am saying all this? Because if you think that I need for my maintenance, my preservation, protection, then you collect more things. Just what if, just in case something happens, world crisis, recession, this, that. So many insecurities are there in life, especially in the day and age we live in. But one should have faith in Krishna. Shraddha Sabde Vishwasa Kahe Sudruda Nichchaye Krishna Bhakti Kaile Sarva Karma Kripa. If only I perform devotion service, Krishna will maintain me. So he's saying, Amar Palanbhar Ekman Tamar, Krishna, Govinda, you worry about my this thing, maintenance. I don't care. That kind of dependency. He also says, Ananya Chintayanto Mam Ye Janaha Paripasate Tesham Nityabhyuktanam Yogakshemam Mahamiham. That those who with undivided attention are focused performing devotion service to Krishna. Ananya Chintayanto Mam Ye Jana Paripasate. Those who worship like me like that. Tesham Nityabhyuktanam, for their maintenance, I preserve what they have and I carry what they lack. So Krishna takes personal responsibility. Why should we worry about our maintenance? We should not worry. We should be satisfied. We should not get into atyahar. Prabhupada is saying that next paragraph. According to nature's arrangement, the living entity lower on the evolutionary scale do not eat or collect more than necessary. And like you can see, any crow, any parrot, any sparrow. Now, what do they store for the next day? Is it there something in the nest? On the tree they have kept, maybe some bank, FD is there. Nothing. Absolutely no plan, no arrangement for the next day. That day is over, evening. Next day, nothing. They will set out. What is stored for them by the Lord, they don't know. But they have faith by the laws of nature. They are, yes, we will get something. So only human beings have so much of insecurity feeling. Consequently, in the animal kingdom, there is generally no economic problem or scarcity of necessities. If a bag of rice is placed in a public place, birds will come to eat a few grains and go. Sparrow will come, take 3-4 grains in the big, fly away. Pigeon will come, maybe 10-15, fly away. Human being will come, nobody is there. Only. Heavy, he'll call his wife, hey, come, children come. they will carry in the house, and that is for next 10, 15, 100 days. And so much of atyahar, collecting things more than required. A human being, however, will take away the whole bag. He will eat all his stomach can hold and then try to keep the rest in storage. According to scriptures, this collecting of more than necessary atyahar is prohibited. Now the entire world is suffering because of it. So they store and eat more. They say more people are having problem and die because of overeating than undereating. Lot of people eat too much. They have in America what they call? Huh? Obviously. Okay. You shouldn't so much of eating and all that. So that is not required. We should depend on Krishna. Avashya Rakshime Krishna. Krishna will protect. Why should I worry about my mental health? Hamara palam tha, dekho no, tomhara. So we should not keep, especially brahmacharis should not worry about their future. And because brahmacharis don't earn money, they don't have any bank balance, no connection with parents, so in inheritance, they may not get any money from parents. So he may be concerned what will happen in future. Nothing. Tomorrow, what if some operation is required, bypass, by 10 lakhs rupees, who will provide? Temple may not have so much funds. Just for me, I am not such a important brahmachari. I am not a preacher. I don't have any boys or brahmacharis under me. I am not a counselor. Some thoughts of insecurity may come, but he should be very clear that Krishna will protect. Similarly, daily basis also keeping something for tomorrow and all is not required. Whatever comes tomorrow, that is the thing. That's why Krishna particularly says, Patram, Pushpam, Phalam, Toyam. All these items, what he is saying, they are all deteriorable in a sense. They have certain duration. Flower you keep, like this flower we can have like this only for 5 days, this nice decoration. Is it okay? No, these flowers will wilt and they will dry up also. Now it is quite hot. So we will have to change next day. Similarly, Patram also, leaves, Phalam, the fruits, they all deteriorate. So we need to offer always fresh thing. So Krishna has particularly said. So we should not worry about our maintenance. Like once I was in Yatra, so one saffron brahmachari, we were, because we get down from the bus, go visit the holy places which are supposed to visit. Then we come back, because we were boys, students, we came fast thing. We were the first ones, so myself and my friend, one, my senior 1 year, but we were boys, together initiated and all that. So he was there, 2 of us, and one brahmachari also came, somehow he came. So only 3 of us were in the bus. So we came slightly early, so we were discussing. So then he also was entering that time. So I said, I am feeling a little hungry. Yesterday night I did not take anything. So he said, oh, don't worry. Morning you did not take breakfast? I said, no, in hurry, I boarded the bus. I did not take breakfast only. He said, oh, don't worry, from the breakfast, I had kept this one orange for afternoon. So he was a brahmachari, my friend was a brahmachari. I think I was in final year. He was a brahmachari. So he gave me, he said, I had kept this for afternoon. So you can take it because you have not taken. So that saffron brahmachari saw this. He said, oh, this mentality of storing, this is a grahastha mentality. To that brahmachari. He was white brahmachari and had a saffron. I was a student. So I was shocked. But anyway, I thought, I have not stored it. And he is giving this, and I am very hungry also. So I honored it. But one more detail is that saffron brahmachari who said that, he also got married eventually. This also got married, that also got married. So the lesson is, maybe we should not point out like that. Having openly in public. Chastisement in private and glorification in public. That is the formula we should follow. But we should not keep things collected, and so that in future something will be of use. Especially Brahmanas should be satisfied. Satisfaction is the greatest wealth with the Brahman. When Rukmini Devi was in love with Krishna, having heard from many sages coming to Vidarbha regularly, and kings take pleasure in hearing about spiritual matters. And that time Krishna is killing so many demons and he is the hero on planet, performing pastimes, sages know them all. So they would come and they would tell to Bhishma, the king, that Bhishma Maharaj, this is what King Krishna did in childhood. And Rukmini, small girl, she would be hearing this pastime. So just by hearing pastimes of Krishna, Shrutva Guna Bhuvana Sundarshyam, Just by hearing this pastime, she fell in love with Krishna. But then Krishna, this her brother, Rukmi, elder brother, decided to, and also decided that his sister should be married to Shishupal, who was the outright enemy of Krishna. When she came to know, she immediately sent one Brahmin, that please, my dear Brahmin, go there to Krishna with this letter and read it out to him. That how should he take me, kidnap me, etc. So then he goes, and then when he meets Krishna, Krishna invites him, welcomes him. That is the duty of householders. Krishna shows by his personality. He makes him sit on the high seat, Simhasan. He washes his lotus feet, does arti, offers him nice prasadam. After prasadam is over, then he gives him bed to lie down. When he is lying down, Krishna goes and starts massaging his lotus feet and says, "My dear Brahman, could you tell me the reason?" First he asks, "Are you satisfied, my dear Brahman? Are you satisfied?" So satisfaction is the greatest wealth. And the Brahman says, "I am satisfied. I am not in need of anything." In Marathi there is a saying, I think Tukaram Maharaj says, "ठेविले अनंते जैसे रहावेची तैसे चित्ते असु द्यावे समाधान." ठेविले अनंत जैसे. The way Lord Ananta has kept you. Lord is Ananta, unlimited. So how will He keep you? He will keep you unlimitedly. He is not limited. So ठेविले अनंत जैसे रहावेची तैसे. Just stay like that only. Just like a small baby. If the mother keeps him on the stomach, he remains on the stomach. He will move his hands and legs, but he remains on the stomach only. If the mother keeps him on the back, he remains on the back and keeps moving hands and legs, but he remains on the back. So like that, whatever way Lord has kept you, be satisfied. Rahave aise chitte asu deave samadhan. In the heart, you should have samadhan. My Lord has made arrangement. It's perfect. No need to worry about this, worry about that, working hard for this, working that. Not required at all. Okay, any question? Our time is getting over, but whatever we discussed about this second verse, but tomorrow you may not remember the question. Yes.
Very Shamaji, just like Prabhupada said that the Mahatmas, they are in Devi Prakriti, means they are the under the Shrimati Radharani, Yoga potency. And my question is that the practicing devotees who are practicing yoga, very sadha bhakti, they are under what? Because we see that
if they are doing things for Guru's pleasure, senior devotees' pleasure, who are doing things for Guru's pleasure, and who is doing things for Krishna's pleasure, they are under Daivi Maya, Yoga Maya, for that time. Other time, they may be in Mahamaya. When they are going for Atyaha, Prayas, Prajalpa, they are falling prey to Vanchauri and all that. Then they will be in Mahamaya. But once you take shelter of Krishna through Guru, initiation, then he is more under Krishna, but then also he may fall back here and there. But the Guru takes responsibility of taking him back to God overall. So sometimes we are like Tatastha, you know. Materialistic people more or less always in Mahamaya only. But devotees sometimes in Mahamaya, sometimes in Yogamaya. So they behave like Tatastha. But pure devotee means always Mahatmas, broad-minded, they are always under Yogamaya.
Prabhuji, in that first verse and second verse, that urge to speak is common, like that it can destroy our bhakti. And so other things like uncontrolled mind or Arupasthvegam, these can all destroy our bhakti. So why only these 6 are included in second verse, in which that Vachovegam is common?
That is the Vegas to be controlled. Now he is saying these are the forbidden, now these are very dangerous things for bhakti. So he is guiding, focusing on different aspects of spiritual life, whatever else is required. And more or less these are the common things which are required.
So, but uncontrolled mind also can destroy bhakti, so why it is not included?
That I don't know. Why it is not. But it is there through other things. If you see, mind word will not come, but like being greedy for mundane achievements. So where is your greed? It's in your mind. That what we discussed. Unrestricted priti, avirodha priti, isn't it? That was the word. Unrestricted attachment. That's how one will be greedy for mundane achievements. So mind is there. He is not directly using the word mind. Yes.
We hear Atyahar has been said as over endeavoring for mundane things. Better prayasas means over endeavoring.
We have not entered in prayas, so you can discuss about Atyahar, preferably. Tomorrow we'll go there. Any other?
When we are going outside for journey, should we take prasadam or it's like a perfect renunciation? We must not take prasadam. We can approach nearby ISKCON temples outside the journey. Or what we have to take prasadam?
That is your choice. No? Either you carry journey prasad, or if the train is halting for half an hour, 1 hour, and ISKCON temple is nearby, you may go there. But if you go in ISKCON temple and train leaves, then watch the pots in the Govinda. Something like that. You have to be careful.
So this can be exception as for restoring food as like for tomorrow. As a person with brahmachari.
Acha, okay. No, there in journey it is allowed. Acha, you asked from that point of view. Okay, I did not understand. Okay. He should carry. Because it is very impractical that you get down from train and enter in ISKCON temple nearby. It will not be next to the train station anyway. You may go in auto. By the time you come back, train is gone. It will be very costly affair and quite impractical. That time it is not required.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
To like collecting more funds than required. So we should but like Mahaprabhu also suggests one of his a devotee only. He was spending all the money. He was not taking care of financial need of the home as a householder.
Vasudeva.
So householder has to collect funds more than required. Like for now it's not required, but in future they may require.
Mahaprabhu did not tell him to collect more funds than required. Mahaprabhu told another devotee, Raghunandan or somebody. Shivanand Sen, that you take care. He is a grahastha, but he doesn't spends all the money. You please take care of his accounts and all that. Mahaprabhu did not recommend that you earn more than required.
Mahaprabhu, but like he told to take care of the financial like needs.
That he told Shivanand Sen.
So like modern times also, so householders they have to save money basically for their future life or collect funds.
Labho jiveta yavata, earn that which is required to keep body and soul together. One should not get into that economic development and rat race by which one will compromise in bhakti. Bhakti should be in the foreground and maintenance one may do something. One should have faith in Krishna. Like I think your His Grace Krishna Nam Prem Prabhu. I heard that he is not doing much about that. Some corpus fund is there something and he's running the show. That's all. No job, nothing, full-time preaching only, he and his wife. It's great. I'm not saying that everybody has to do that, but basically don't get into some big job paying 5-digit salary and I will, for my future, who knows future, whether he will remain alive or not. So one should, whatever comes of his own accord, without much endeavor, whatever money comes, in that only simple living I think. If the husband is like that brahmachari training he has undergone and wife also is simple, he has trained her also, and how we should not get into this money making and all that. So she is also satisfied that they can remain in a very simple setting, nicely, peacefully living and be very Krishna conscious. Otherwise there is no end. Already we discussed, greed, there is no end only to that. The world's richest man when interviewed on TV and asked in one word ambition, what would you say? He said, more. M-O-R-E. I want more. He is the richest man. Why should he want more? What is not there with him? More or less everything is there, but he is wanting more. The greed has no end. So one should not worry about his future. One should just by simple means whatever comes and then keep your life very simple. The KISS formula in America. Keep it simple, stupid. KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. If you are not keeping it simple, you are stupid. So my dear stupid, keep it simple. KISS formula. This is in America. Great. Should learn some tips from them. So we should not worry. Whatever comes, by Krishna's will is fine. And 50% ideally, Grahastha should give to ISKCON temple or spiritual activities. So if they earn 1 lakh per month, 50,000 per month should come to ISKCON Dhanbad for preaching activities. Not that Gulab Jamuns for brahmacharis every day, not for that purpose. Understand?
And as far as like what is requirement is concerned, so there is no end to requirement also. If
That's
somebody,
a simple living, I think. That's the formula.
because somebody may say I required all these facilities and but
Simple living, I think. That's why brahmachari training is must, compulsory for all. Then only they will learn it. Any other? I think these 2-3 only are beyond time. Others are concerned. ठीक है, आप पूछ लीजिए.
Just like now we are hearing this nectar discussion.
उनको माइक भी नहीं देंगे शायद अभी टाइम. उनको माइक मत दो. अभी ये क्वेश्चन पूछना पड़ेगा. वो भी इतने उत्साही है, उनको माइक की जरूरत नहीं. और मेरा तो माइक होपफुली कोई छीनेगा नहीं. छीनेगा तो मैं उसको पकड़ के रखता हूँ.
Just like now we are hearing this nectar discussion and we are thinking yes this is correct. But actually what happens that after 2-3 days we forget everything.
That's why we are recording it for you. The recording can go on 24 hours. Somebody can take care of charging also, so that the battery continues to narrate the thing.
Just like when I was going through this, when you were reading, so I was going through this book, so I was seeing that I've underlined many points, but I was seeing that I'm not applying, still not applying in my life. So like how to like maintain this teachings for like we can apply it for a longer period of time.
That's why we have to hear repeatedly. Nityam Bhagavatasya. Also we should serve Vyakti Bhagavats, person Bhagavat. They are already following many of these things. Pure devotees are following everything, and advanced devotees senior to us, they are following many more things than we are able to follow. In their association matters a lot. What they say? More things are caught than taught. Similarly, your actions speak so loudly that I cannot hear your words. Actions speak louder than words. So one devotee practicing very sincerely is an inspirational figure, and we immediately pick up that point. You understand? So an example is better than precept. Somebody is following example, and precept means talks and discussions, classes. That is nice, no doubt. But the more important would be somebody following. So we stay in such devotee association. How many of you have seen that you get inspired by some other devotee, some nice quality? You are not able to follow, but if you, yeah. So by seeing him, we get inspired. In his association, at least for some time, we will be able to follow also ourselves. Like that, slowly we will progress.
Like usually a personal like we used to make notes, but hardly like I used to revise it again. So like what you used to do? Like
I am your follower only. From January 1996, all the notes as it is are there in the ashram, locker thing. But one thing I have done, because I have to preach also, and I cannot, because of my physical thing, training, treatment, etc. I am not able to carry much luggage and these books. So one thing is, in the mobile I have, but I have soft copies of my notes, notebook thing, in my mobile. So sometimes, now for this I have notes in the book only, that's why you will not see me. But other times when I am giving classes, I am referring to my notes in the mobile. Soft copies of my diaries. Her page, every page is what you call photo is clicked. Some students did GJD voice devotees did for me. They took, I gave them sometime 7-8 notebooks, diaries, and they each photo they clicked each paper, both this side, like that, and they gave me that PDF or whatever, and I did indexing, and I refer to those notes in my class. Like there I spoke on 6 anarthas in Varanasi. 6 anarthas. One day, 1 hour discussion on 1 anartha and 1 hour question answer. So like that 6 anarthas we discussed in 6, 7, 8 hours. So that was all referring to my notes which I had written in my diary in 2016 when I went to Ujjain for counseling camp. So Brahmachari Counseling Camp. So there one Mataji requested me in our congregation lectures in the evening, could you speak on 6 another? So daytime I was in Bhakti Prem Maharaj room only. I took laptop of one Brahmachari there and I made nice notes from for you, etc. And I spoke in the evening. So those notes only photocopy, what do you call that? PDF, etc. I refer now. So that I have to do because I am preacher traveling. I require to speak on every place I go. They give me so many topics, and how will you speak? I am not like Vedesha Sarve Ahameho Vedyo. So my notes help me. Dharmo Rakshati Rakshataha. So what happens when they give a topic and I go to particular thing in that. So there I find those notes I had not read, but now because I have to speak, I go through it at least. You understand? And one more thing you could do is you could repeat also from your notes. Every day is the best practice. After the class, just sit for 5-10 minutes, go through the notes and tell some devotee. And then you will understand, oh, some point I am not remembering from notebook. Again in the daytime you will go back to notebook, you will see what I could not narrate. Sometimes Radhesham Prabhu, so many notes made and we are not referring. Maybe the notebooks will go back home back to God. They are so Krishna, Krishna, Krishna everywhere. And in our mind there is not much. He said once. Yes.
One last question.
Mm.
Which is like from my childhood I have a habit of sleeping in the daytime.
Mm.
So how to like slowly get rid of it?
Sangat Sanjayate Kamaha. Kind of association we have accordingly our desires come. So now you are in good association. Hopefully others are not sleeping in the daytime here.
Others also sleep.
I don't blame everyone. You can say few others. If you say others also sleep, that means everybody after lunch is over is gone dhanbad. शांत हो जाता है. चार बजे तक 2 से 4 कुछ क्या कहते हैं मुचुकुंदा voice. ISKCON Dhanbad becomes ISKCON Muchukunda Dhanbad, something like that. So it's not like that. So take the inspiration from those. Or we can do one thing. After prasadam is over, generally you sleep after lunch, no? Or before? After lunch. Take books, go out. And take more books. And in case the books are over, you call the devotees, You don't come back. You tell Prabhu, books are over, could you please get? Like that day I told them, get books to train. Some people may take. So like that. Don't come till 4 o'clock. After 4 p.m. mostly you will not sleep. It's only that dangerous zone is that only. Period. Somewhere like after lunch, not like 1 o'clock. Lunch is over by 2 o'clock. So 2 to 4, that is the dangerous period. Wow. I used to read Srimad Bhagavatam in my brahmachari days. Other brahmacharis don't take this because they must be sleeping late in the night preaching program. So I would open a completely dark room of that brahmachari ashram. Dark. So I would open, all are slept brahmachari, means those in that room. So I would slightly open the window and that sunlight would come and in that light only I would read Bhagavatam. Like that daily. So many Bhagavatam after Bhagavatam I completed all the books of Bhagavatam. So that time can be effectively utilized if you only struggle against it. Or another thing, earlier I also one point of time I would sleep 3-4 hours in a day. So complain, I was a student that time, or maybe brahmachari, student I think. So I complained went to Radhesham Prabhu, Sundarshyam fellow, Sundarshyam Das, daily sleeps for 3-4 hours in the daytime. So Radhesham Prabhu called me to room, and so I went ahead of this way he called me. He said, is it true that you sleep daily 3-4 hours in the daytime? I said, yes, true. He said, why? I said, well, after taking prasadam I feel sleepy. What time you sleep in the night? I said 12 o'clock, sometimes 1, sometimes 2 o'clock. So what? Till 12 o'clock, what are you doing? I said, no, when I lie down at 10:30 on the bed, then I'm just rolling and I'm not able to sleep only. So then I go to Bhaktivedanta reading room, BRR, and I take Bhagavatam, I start reading. So I read till 12 o'clock, sometimes 1, rarely 2 o'clock. He said, now I understand what is your problem. So you sleep, daytime you sleep, so night you don't feel sleepy, 10 o'clock, 10:30. So you feel you are wasting your time. So you go to read Bhagavatam, you keep reading till 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, then you get up at 4 for Mangalati. So your sleep is not over in the night. Again after lunch, you feel sleepy, you sleep. So you are caught up in a very vicious cycle. It is cycle. Daytime sleeping, nighttime not sleeping, all that. So you are caught up in a very vicious cycle, and with great determination you have to break this cycle. He said with such conviction. So those words impacted me a lot. So when I came out of the room, I was thinking, with great determination, how will I? Till now I am not successful, no question. So what is the way? So then I understood, काटे से काटा निकालो. So this is ignorance, sleep coming. So दूसरा काटा क्या है? बड़ा काटा, that is passion. So use passion. So what I would do after taking lunch, Prasad, I would directly go not to ashram to sleep. I would go to computer room. I would open the desktop those days, and I would start emailing devotees, different notes, and emails had come. I would respond them, and like that I would work on computer for 2-3 hours. The sleep time is over, and then daytime no sleep at all. So night time, as soon as I would lie down, I would fall asleep, and the cycle broke. And for last 20-22 years, I have not slept in the daytime, more or less. Very rarely, like came from Warangal and 11:45 at police station. Then came to temple by 12:30 walking, and tired, not slept in the night. So slept at 12:30, got up at 4. So the nighttime sleep is not over. So while chanting, feeling sleepy, or after morning program, and without knowledge only. Not that I slept, but I fell down somewhere. Slept without knowledge. So like that in a year, 5 to 10 times max. That's all. That is also helplessly, and that also because of traveling, not sleeping properly and all. Otherwise, from my side, no question of sleeping in the daytime. For last 22 years, by all blessings of Radheshyam, by the blessings of great souls, you can overcome any damn problem in your life. But if you also have faith in their words and you work upon it, then only. And in fact, eventually I became most famous in the temple. अरे सुंदरश्याम प्रभु कोई भी मेल लिखो, एक दिन के अंदर रिप्लाई मिलता ही मिलता है. अरे बोला मेरा ये प्रॉब्लम है, क्रिएटनेस नहीं है, मेरे कमजोरी के ऊपर काम करने के लिए वो सब करना पड़ता है. मींस इन द माइंड आई वाज थिंकिंग. समझ रहे ना? You will not only overcome your problem, you will get glorification also for the other things. So we have to have that faith and work hard. So listen, just like how many of you are getting up at 4 o'clock in the hostel first year? मिलता कौन है? 6 बजे 7 बजे है कि यहाँ आके हमें how many of you get up by 4 maximum? तो 4 बजे ऑल्टर ही खुलता है, उठना ही पड़ता होगा 3:30 बजे. You see? Just a matter of coming in the hospital. थोड़ा time जाता है, first 3-4 months, then we get used to it. Then ऐसा conditioning हो जाता है कि 4 बजे अपने आप नींद खुल जाता है, isn't it? Or even if you are not wanting to get up, you are lying on the bed लेकिन सुन रहे सब चेतो दर्पणमार्जनम. वो भी पार्टिसिपेंट ही है मॉर्निंग प्रोग्राम. उसका जो अष्टांग प्रणाम ओवर नहीं हुआ है. बाकी अष्टांग प्रणाम करके चेतो दर्पण शुरू कर दिए, ये तो अष्टांग प्रणाम में ही चेतो दर्पण मार देता है फोक के ऊपर. So there is no conditioning which you cannot overcome, but we need to take blessings of great souls, and having faith we should work on it, then it will happen. Okay, so we'll stop here. Other questions you ask tomorrow. I already went over time. श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, श्री उपदेशामृत की जय, श्री रूप गोस्वामी पाद की जय, समवेत गौर भक्तवृंद की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे.